Be on the safe side. Don't say I must eat, you know, till the last minute, especially because you're not too sure. If you find yourself in a situation where you ate until a time and you were in doubt. I was I was not sure whether I've not eaten, sorry, into the time of Fajr. فَعَلَيْهِ الْقَضَى. You have to make up for that day's fast. Number four. Okay. Website. Okay. One, two, three. The arkan of siyam, arkan of saw, the wajibat, those compulsory things that we must do. And making intention. What do we mean by intention? Ulama are divided upon whether it's enough to make niyyah at the beginning of Ramadan, or we should make niyyah for every day of Ramadan. Even our teachers are divided. To be on the safe side, I say make niyyah for every day. And that's what Maulana Sheikh Sidna Sheikh favors. Every day, do your niyyah. Especially if for a woman, for example, if you're saying I'm making niyyah to fast for 29 or 30 days of Ramadan, yeah. What if the menses comes, like that, you can't, or something happens. You can't say it's the same niyyah, like that. Every day you wake up for Fajr, or before you go to sleep, in case you sleep off, make a niyyah. I'm going to fast this next morning. Sorry. So make a niyyah, be on the safe side every day. Or make a niyyah, I'm going to fast for the rest of Ramadan, and every day renew your intention. I think that's one of the best. And I said, if you're going to sleep, make niyyah, especially if there's possibility of you not waking up before Fajr. That's that about niyyah. Number two is al-imtina'u wal-imsaku wal-kaffu an kulli muftirin. To stay away from everything that will vitiate your fast min tulu' al-fajr ila ghurub al-shams, from the rising of the fajr, the appearance of dawn, and there's light on the horizon, till sunset. So with this, we now say, okay, we say staying away from everything that would make your fast invalid. So what are those things that will make your fast invalid? Number one is engaging in sexual relation, coitus. I mean, not the muqaddimat, not the precursors, real intimacy in that sense. Number two, the ulama, Arabic is very interesting. They say ikhrajul mani, not khurujul mani. Making semen to be discharged. It's not if it comes on its own. If you make it, cause it to be discharged. Awil madhi amdan. Or if you force yourself to discharge what we call al-madhi, which is prostatic fluid, the fast is what? Is invalid. Forcing yourself to vomit is another one. Taking in fluid through your throat to your tummy, either you do it on purpose or by mistake, whether it reaches your intestine or not, if it goes down your throat, whether it's through your mouth or through your nose or your eyes or your ears, and it's here that the ulama add things like eye drop, air drop. You know, there are some eye drop, if you use them, you feel them in your throat easily. So it goes there. So that's why we say, if I say through your eyes, someone is thinking, Ustaz, what do you mean? No, it's not like those things. So these things, if you use them before Fajr. As long as you know that if you use them, you're going to feel the effect in your throat, then you should not use them between Fajr and Iftar and Ghurub Shams, sunset. But if it's something, for example, so some ulama will say there's some kuhul. How do you say kuhul? This eye, the things they put on the eyes, women or even men, yeah. Something like mascara or something. I don't know how you say it. Like you put those things that maquillage, yeah, or kuhul. How do you say it? Like you put on your eyes. If you can feel it in your throat, it it renders your fast invalid. But if it's something that that is just at the eyes, it doesn't go down there, you don't feel it there, then there's no problem. Getting liquid into what? Into your stomach is another thing. The first one we said through the throat, right? Down there. This one, if you inject yourself, and we are saying liquid, and I'll explain, you get what I'm saying. Why? MashaAllah, what did you say there? Yeah, something like eyeliner. Tamam, Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair. I don't know, but it's the one they put on the eyelashes, not the one they put here. The one they put on the eyelashes. Or what? On the eyelids. Here, this one here. Not the one here. This one does not go anywhere. Okay, this is eyelashes. Yeah, this is eyebrow. Brow. Brow. Allah. Hey now. If you inject a liquid into your system, maybe through the veins or through whatever, and it goes into your stomach, we'll explain better, inshallah. Then it will vitiate your fast. Taking in a solid, not a liquid now, through your mouth, if you deliberately swallow a stone, your fast is vitiated. So but it's not food. It doesn't matter whether it's not food or not. Don't swallow anything through your throat down there. If you go to the kitchen and you are smelling all the food, yeah, with the intention of taking it in, the smell, then the wudu, when I was saying the wudu, the fast is invalid. If it's by mistake, you're just passing by a bakery or a nice eatery, and this thing you can't control it, Oh, that's beautiful. It's different from going there to like smell everything to ingest it from your nose. So that will also break your fast. If someone was irritated and he threw up, and that person has a capacity to throw out the vomitus, and he swallowed it back, astaghfirullah, from the throat, then the fast is invalid. But if it's something that he cannot control, and it went back on its own, then la haraja fi dhalik. But if it's something that when it came out, you held it, you could throw it out, and you swallowed it back, then it will be regarded that your fast is what? Is invalid. All these are not at the same level. We're going to explain which one requires kafara, which one requires qada, and which ones you don't like that. In the mazhab of Imam Malik, I'm saying this. If it requires kafara, it is al-kafara to al-qada. Meaning, people will say you have to make 60. In the mazhab of Imam Malik, is 61. Whatever makes you to do kafara, you have to do qada with it. So we don't say, if you do that, you are making 60, you are making 61. When do we have to do al-qada wa ma'al kafara? Qada, making up for one day, and making up for 60 other days, as a punishment for doing something on purpose. It's 60 days. And that one day, you still have to make it. So what are those things? If you do any of what you have said, amdan, you do it on purpose. You like with a, you do it intentionally. Then you have to make al-qada wa al-kafara. If you eat intentionally, it's different from someone who forgot. Who is not in, who forgot. So if you do any of these things that we have said above intentionally, someone who met his wife intentionally, someone who ate into Fajr intentionally, then he has to do al-qada wa al-kafara. Number 2, someone who does something out of his choice. These things are 2. Someone is seated and someone puts a gun at his head. Eat this food. If you are eating that food, you are eating intentionally, but you are not eating it out of your own volition. You are not, meaning that if you are being forced to do something, although you are doing it intentionally, it's beyond your power, then it's not compulsory. But if it's by your own volition, then you have to do al-qada'u ma'al kafara. And whatever you do must, they say intihak hurmat Ramadan, must be something that defies the integrity, the whole of Ramadan, the sacredness of Ramadan. And there we'll get to what they call ta'wil al-qareeb, ta'wil al-ba'id. If someone misconstrues something, he thinks, we'll get there inshallah, I'll give examples. He thinks it should be like this, but in the Sharia, it's not like that. It's not like he's doing it out of define the rule, then the ruling will be different. And more so, it has to be in Ramadan. It has to be in Ramadan. Qada مع الكفارة is only in Ramadan. Okay. Al-kafara that we're talking about can be of three levels. Number one is feeding 60 people. لكل مد. لكل مد. For each person, you give a mud. Don't go and give 60 mud to a single person. It is not allowed. لكل, you have to find 60 individuals that give. The mud is a measure. Mud is a measure, which is like like 0.5 kilo of grain or rice or food like that. And that is the weight of a mud. It's either you feed 60 people or you fast شهرين متتابعين for 2 months, which is like 60 days. 60 days precisely, I mean. Meaning that if the month is 29, you still have to make your 60 days. If this month is 29 and the next month is 30, you still have to make one other day to make complete your 60. متتابعين consecutively. Consecutively. Okay. Or which one? The third one is in the books, but I don't know where you get that today. Or freeing a Muslim. عتق رقبة مؤمنة سالمة من العيوب. Freeing, setting someone who is a slave free. I don't mean a houseboy or a house girl. I mean a slave. So I don't know where you find that today. So, but it's there. And we pray that the ulama will say that feeding people is better. Yeah. So meaning it is in that order. If you can feed 60 people, it's better than you fasting, making out the 60 fast. And that is better than freeing a slave. Just like I said, I don't even know where you're going to find a slave today. Okay? So, subhanallah, it's easier to feed 60 people. All in all, you're going to be talking about almost like 31, maybe maximum of 22 kilogram of food stuff. That's 32 kilo. How much will you spend to get rice, a bag of rice? Maybe it's just 32 kilo or something, or maybe a bag and a half. Instead of saying you have to fast 30 days consecutively, 60 days consecutive. So it's easier to do it and it has more effect even in the society. It helps other people who are masakin to. And I mean, this does not in any way. This does not in any way encourage you to say, okay, because of that, I have the money, let me not just fast. But in the other way also, this does not take away the rule Some people think, I remember whether it's a year ago or 2 years ago, there's someone in Nigeria or something like that started saying some things, and it was very funny because you know that the person has not sat with the ulama. Astaghfirullah, I don't like to mention people, but the rule is what I've said. It's not by your logic. People think it's logic. Oh, now I can speak Arabic. Yeah, I think logically, it's not a matter of logic. It is the way it is. It is fixed. Allahu Alam. There are other situations. Or just like a recap. So when we said this now, which one among these things that I've mentioned requires al-qada'u ma'al kaffar? Number one is someone was fasting in the month of Ramadan, and in the middle of the day he says, I'm no more fasting. In my mind, no, I've decided I'm no more fasting. Because the niyyah, the intention is gone, the person will have to what? Do al-qada'u ma'al kaffar. Having conjugal intimacy relation with your wife in a way that the organs will come together and will enter into each other. Walau duna inzalin, even if there is no discharge of mani, of semen, then he has to do al-qada'u mal kafara. Halalan aw harama, wal billah, whether it's with someone that you have right to, or either with someone who you don't have right to. It does. These are different rulings, right? Punishment for doing what you're not supposed to do with someone who you are not allowed is a different thing. The rule of fasting is a different thing. But if you do what you're not supposed to do with someone you're not supposed to do it with, then double problem for you. Forcing al-mani to be discharged, which is semen to be discharged, whether male or female, from whatever form, is either by touching, or be idamati nazarin, or by staring at maybe opposite gender, opposite sex. I like, prefer to use that, till there's a discharge of al-mani, or thinking. Some people can get their thinking so high that they will release, and there will be a release of mani, because the same thing is meaning wise is the same. But if for one reason or the other there's shock, or there's extreme temperature, or whatever, or someone is sick and there's discharge of al-mani, then in that case there is no kafara. Also, like we said, forcing something down your throat, a liquid down your throat, or solid down your throat, or getting it into your system, doing that intentionally will require, permit you to repeat that, forcing something down your throat, which is liquid, through your mouth, is al-qada'u mal kafar. But if the thing just gets to your throat and you're able to control it and throw it back, then it is just qada. You just make up for that one day, not for 60 days. Or if the water or the liquid did not go through your mouth, it went through the eyes, maybe eye drop, or through your nose, or through the ears. In this case, if it doesn't go through the mouth to the throat, then it is only qada. Underline that. You're only making up for one day. in that case. And the last one is what you have said before. If you forcefully take in your vomitus intentionally, while having the control to throw it out, but intentionally you swallowed it back, then you do al-qada ma al-kafara. Ta'wil al-qarib. I said I was going to talk about it, and ta'wil al-ba'id. Ta'wil, defining it may not be easy without an example. Ta'wil al-qarib is someone misapply a ruling of excuse in Ramadan, thinking that that rule applies, but in reality it does not apply. It's called ta'wil al-qarib. Ta'wil is interpretation. But ta'wil al-ba'id is applying something that is just out of assumption. It's not like there's a ruling like that. If the person just assumes and it does not rely on any rule in the Sharia, then he will do al-kafara ma al-qada. 1 day, make up for 1 day, and 60 days. But if he relied on something that he assumed in the Sharia, yeah, there's this rule, but I don't know that, I think it applies to me in Ramadan too, then he will only make up for 1 day, which is al-qada. Example. A woman who is used to menstruating, and for her is constant. On the 10th of every month, she knows her height will start. In the middle of afternoon, maybe it's that kind of constant. Say, I know that on the 10th day of every month, once is like after Zuhr, between Zuhr and Asr, this my visitor will have to come. And because of that, in Ramadan, she fasted maybe first day to 9th day, and on the 10th day, she didn't even bother to fast. Because she knows that automatically, she didn't even bother to make niyyah to fast. You get it? She was not even thinking of it. Tomorrow, I just know that my period will start. In that case, not making okay, she didn't make the niyyah to fast, and practically her menses started that day. She'll have to what? Make al-qada'u ma'al kafara. She has to make up for 61. Why? Because she didn't even make up, she didn't even intend to fast at all. She made niyyah that I'm just gonna eat. She was not even waiting.